does this world have for us? Sister Gina, don't you get sick of this world? Thank God for what He gave us and the beauty of it, this and that, and the food, all this and that, and the friends and fellowship. But eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, or enter into the hearts of mind of man, but God has prepared for them that love Him. Didn't say asking for salvation. Love Him.
Hey, Rabbi Ed say the other night that we go back into being like a light.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like our bodies get resurrected.
See, I would say Jesus is the what? The light of the, okay. When God spoke, there was light. Okay. So where He is, there is light. That's why in New Jerusalem we'll need no need for the what, Brother Michael? New Jerusalem?
No need for the sun.
Sun or the moon or anything. For the glory of the Lord lights up that city. So if we become as He is, we become what? Light. But we've got to remember, we'll go to it in a minute. 1 Thessalonians 5:23, the Bible talks about spirit, soul, and body. Spirit, soul, and body. And then the Bible lets us know, Luke 24:39, spirit hath not flesh and bone. So the spirit don't have flesh or bone. So we say amen.
Amen.
So when we go to the Lord, we're going to be spirit just like He is, but we're not going to have no flesh or bone. Are we going to be able to eat and drink too? I guess so. Okay, where are we at?
54, but we did do it before.
We did 54.
I told you, she will keep you on track.
I'm going to have to set you beside me, because you keep me right on track.
She
She is actually.
Yes.
Okay, so where did I say we're going, Brother Michael?
I don't even know what she knew.
Everybody over here, you got to keep track of me.
You
Huh?
said 55. 55 is where you were going to
Luke
start.
9:55. Okay, Luke 9:55. 9:55. Okay. Okay, now I'm back, okay. So Sister Gina, 52 one more time.
And sent messengers before his face, and they went, and entered into a village of the Samaritans, to make ready for him.
Verse 53.
And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem.
So he came to this banquet room where it was in Samaria, but you could see that his heart wasn't there. He wasn't really wanting to be there. Verse 54.
And when his disciples James and John saw this,
When they saw what?
saw
That they did not receive him. Somebody, everybody say, they did not receive him. Good. They said what?
They said, Lord, wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah did?
No. They want to call fire down to heaven, and when it says Elijah, who did they talk about?
Elijah.
Elijah. Somebody say Elijah. Why don't we just call fire down to heaven? If they don't want to receive you, we'll just burn them up.
Yeah.
Does that sound like Jesus? Does that sound like love? Everybody still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Verse 55.
But he turned and rebuked them and said,
Uh-oh. But he turned and did what?
Rebuke them,
Oh. Okay. Go ahead.
and said, You know not what manner of spirit you are of.
Oh, my Lord. You know not what manner of what?
Spirit.
Oh. Here, who says it's James and John? Not Peter this time. Take notice that it was Peter the first time. Now it's James and John. And the other one's going to fight over positions. Who's going to sit on the left side and who's going to sit on the right hand side. And he tells them, you didn't know what spirit you are. So what spirit was he telling them they are of? Say it again, somebody.
The devil.
Why are y'all so quiet tonight?
Evil.
Someone say hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
We're quiet because we told,
We're
we
listening.
rebuke us then.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're chatting, you know. I mean, if we're chatting and you're trying to, you rebuke us then.
Help, Brother Marvin.
We're listening.
Can Christians be used of the devil?
Definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely,
Was the disciples ever used of the devil?
definitely some of us.
Yes. We know Judas was.
Yes.
Say what?
We know Judas was.
Yeah,
There you
the
go.
only so.
And one side always says, they say he was never saved. So you're telling me Jesus went out and picked 11 disciples. Disciples mean what? What's the word disciples mean?
Disciplined followers.
Disciplined followers. So Judas had to be a disciplined follower. But he left the devil get in. How many of you know the devil can't get in us unless we do something? Everybody say, leave the devil get in us.
Mhm.
We open the door for the devil, buddy, he'll come in.
Yep.
Somebody say amen.
Yes, he will.
How many of you will agree that it's hard to stay in the Spirit of God at all times?
Yes. Yeah, because the flesh is weak.
Yeah.
There you go. Flesh is weak, but the Spirit is
Willing.
good. You had your hand up, say something. Good?
Well, it is like if you get around somebody and they're on the stumbling block and they aggravate you, after a bit, you can get, like Benny Hinn said, it can actually affect you till it's over if they're a stumbling block.
Who you hang out with is who
Right.
you act like and who you become.
Doesn't the Bible say something like this Old Testament?
It's hard.
And it goes vice versa, I say, even though it says it's better to dwell in the housetop than in a wide house with a dwelling.
Woman.
How many it goes the other way?
Or
It
man.
says it's better to get up in the corner of the roof, the attic, than in a big wide house with a brawling husband.
That's right.
So in other words, what is he trying to say? Get away from it.
Yeah.
Everybody say, get away from it.
Get away from it. Get away.
Live among all men peacefully, if what?
Possible.
Sometimes we look for trouble. You said this, and I'm just waiting to get you. As soon as he walks through that door, or as soon as she does, I'm going to nail her or him right to the wall.
Agitators.
Huh?
Agitators.
Agitators. But how many know when we act that way, we're not in the Spirit of God, we're in the Spirit of what?
Devil.
So say amen.
So when someone slaps you in church, you turn the other cheek? You don't get up and slap them down.
Well, you better pray I turn the other
Let's
cheek.
go this way here.
Because I'm still carnal while I'm on earth.
How many know that?
Now, Sister Humphrey.
Can I say something to
I
you?
don't know, I'm gonna say I would.
This is a
but I
display
wouldn't say I
of
won't.
carnality.
How many of you agree that God uses souls differently?
Uses what?
Can I say that again? How many agree that God uses everybody differently?
Oh, yes.
How many of you know there's not another Benny Hinn in this world?
That's right.
Somebody say amen.
Amen.
How many of you know there's not another
Brother Humphrey.
Billy Graham?
There's not a
I'm sorry.
And put your hands like that, and slap you right across the face. But he wouldn't get away with that today. But he did back then.
I told you when we do say something, you repeat
See?
it.
Yeah.
Well,
You're
the only
disgusting
thing,
what you said.
the only thing I'm trying to
No.
say is that if it's worth to be said, it should be said out.
To the whole group.
Yeah, so share it with us.
Oh, gosh.
We were just talking about people that smacked us across the face before,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, it's like really,
Let me say, and I'm trying to be nice as I can.
Yeah.
I'm not coming against Sister Shirley or Stephanie or anybody. I've seen this all the years I've ever preached or taught. People get talking in church, and how many know that it is spirit of,
Distraction.
no, it's distraction, confusion. Because what happened is, we had a girl come into our meeting down there. No, it wasn't, well, we had quite a few. But Brother Tim, still one of the elders. Mighty man, you remember that? Mighty man of God. The church was full. Sister Deb was there too. And everybody was praying with everybody else. But Brother Tim was over praying for somebody. He was screaming to the top of his lungs. Praying. I had to walk over and say, Brother Tim, you're out of order. But you're out of order. You don't have to scream. You're on all attention over here. You're distracting. Even the people that I was trying to pray for, so forth, is going like this here. So the only thing I'm just trying to say is, and not picking on my wife is a ringleader of it. She's doing a lot better, but she's in church. She'll linger and she'll start, and everybody there, and I just stand there and think, here we go. That is a spirit of distraction. So we say, man, can we be used of the devil? And not really realize it is. So we say, man.
Satan will use a baby crying to disrupt
Oh,
service too.
I can tell you this.
And it doesn't mean that the baby is demon possessed. He just uses whoever, wherever, whenever he can to distract and disrupt.
That is true.
I can tell you thousands and thousands of stories. Thousands of stories. But this is why the Bible says we've got to be wise to the devices of the devil. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
I can tell you a good preacher friend of mine, he got up to preach. When he got up to preach and so forth, everybody, he said, let's come to order. And that whole church, they didn't even know that I was in there. Standing out there talking to so forth like that. And I bet you it was 15 minutes later, he was still standing there. And they was just holding a good old conversation. And finally, somebody said something, and they just sort of looked around. And they went and sat down. The pastor said they had no idea that I was supposed to preach there the next, that was on a Sunday, the next Sunday. But they heard about me. And he said, brother, would you stand up and let us know who you are? I said, I'm Brother Humphrey. But it went like this here. And then I rebuked the whole church. I said, how dare you to act like this is number one in a social club? You're a pastor, the head of the church. He's trying to bring order into this church. And you will not reverence him? And I just proceeded to chew on my and left. You know, how many of you know if Jesus was speaking, you've got to have reverence. Somebody say amen. Not like the Quakers so did. We've got to have some life, but we can't get conversation going. Everybody okay? How many want me to tell you the truth? How many want God to move in the services?
Amen.
And how many of you know there is distracting spirits?
Yes.
And I have been a distracting spirit. Somebody say amen. Somebody say amen.
I agree. Nobody else got that.
Hey, I got the look at the service one time that I felt the pain of for a couple days, but I just didn't go there and just kind of like, well, forget it. Is when I played a song one extra time, a kick-up song, and Karen was supposed to read a letter, and I decided to go with it one more time. And when I looked back and I got that look, he went real slow. I'm like, oh my God, I could crawl under the table. But you have to shrug it off and go on and learn something from it. Yeah.
See,
We all have room to learn.
Now, we say more power,
Okay.
Sister Jen.
All of us.
see, at the spur of the
Lord
moment,
Jesus.
at the spur of the moment, the song was sang, okay. But it wasn't the leading of the Spirit of God. In other words, flesh was saying, oh, that's where you're going to bring that little devil up there, he's going to be dancing.
Oh, well, I just went one time too many is all.
Yeah. But how many, I've seen that so many times in many churches. Many churches. So, what is the Lord trying to do here with talking about the Spirit? We've got to be in tune with Him so much.
Preparation, preparing ourselves that half hour, that hour before service, just our mind stayed
yes.
on Him, bringing His presence in, beginning to do our part there, and then God will show up.
Now, Pastor Deb can handle this here. So they asked me about this.
Uh-oh.
When I was preaching, Sister Deb had something to say, and it's probably about the tombstone. Probably.
No, it was something else. I forget what it was now.
But how many know? How many know when the anointing's in the place, everybody can prophesy or speak or say something. This is why it's dangerous if you do not have order and you got a bunch of preachers in the house.
But I asked. I
Yeah.
didn't just
Yeah,
jump up.
She asked.
And she's going like this, and I knew she had something that she thought would be very important. But I knew.
I don't even know now what it was, but it did. It went right with exactly what you were saying at that moment
Well,
to
I went-
reinforce it. And I was like, I knew.
Okay, so when you step into a position and you have to stand your ground, every little move you make, people's watching you.
Mhm.
And somebody's going to take you being too mean or whatever. So
Well, I didn't take you out behind the shed. You were already there.
I've seen you were going.
Okay, I have to give a hand to Michael to get up and lay his head on the chair to get chopped off.
So when I was going home, I said, I don't think I was very nice that you didn't let her say what she wanted to say, because I said she could have been the key to the service. Because I always tell him, we want the Holy Ghost
I
to
can't
have
even
his
tell you now
way,
what it was.
instead of
But at
us
the
planning
time,
everything.
It went right.
What did I say to my
precisely.
wife then? I said it was not the time.
He said, it wasn't the time. He said,
How many know there's a time to speak and a time not to speak and this and that and so forth? So we're all learning. Somebody say we're all learning.
We're all learning.
Any of us, well, here's a question. Let's examine ourselves. Have we grown, well, let's just say in the past 3 months, have any of us feel that we have grown in the past 3 months? How many can raise your hands? I feel like I've grown in the past 3 months. Okay, that's all about it. And see, you cannot say, well, Brother Humphrey made me grow. No. If we get anything, it's from the Lord.
Yeah, I shut that one blind.
Yeah, and the only
Thank
thing,
you.
the only thing I want to do,
That's like,
the only thing I want to do is always have reverence for Him. Someone say amen.
amen.
Okay. Sister Young can tell you, Sister Deb can tell you too. We had two ministers came in one time, minister, and I guess his assistant pastor came into our service, and he said to me in the service, he said, we'd like to come back next Thursday, or next meeting. He said, could we sing songs? I said, one. He got in there, brought a guitar, and both of them had guitars.
I think there
Both of them
was,
had guitars.
yeah, I think they were allowed to do a couple.
He didn't sing one song. He sang every song in the world. As fast as he had finished one, he'd pick. And I'm sitting there. What do I do?
Try not to boil over.
But after service, I had to let him know, never again. He took, what was the word you say? Not
Advantage.
but he took,
Oh, his liberty.
he took
Too
liberty
much.
that he had no right doing. So I'm saying, in other words, let's use this right here. If you go to a Benny Hinn ministry and you only got so much time, somebody get up there and just sing and sing and sing and sing and sing and sing. You know what everybody's doing? They're sitting there saying, we didn't come to hear you. We come to hear what God's going to speak through that man. So you have to have everything, that's why Paul has to correct everything be in decent and order, in control. And when you start to stand up and try to get things in control, people they'll say, well, you're just too stinking bull-headed, too bossy, you this, that. But my God, I'd rather have somebody that at least is trying to glorify the Lord. And we're on one page, Brother Michael? Amen. Pastor Mike and I stand. Okay, let's see.
Right.
Where are we at?
Well, you stopped at 55 this time, you just stopped at 59 the last time.
So where on that, girl?
Where are we at? We should be at
Okay.
59.
Okay. Yeah, we are, ain't we?
55 says, but he turned and rebuked them and said, You know not what spirit you are of. Verse 56.
Deb didn't get to read really, it went past her,
That's
so.
okay.
56, Pastor Deb.
Give her the microphone, Gina.
I can talk loud. Oh, she has it. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went to another village.
Okay. What's he saying here? He rebuked them because they wanted to kill him. They wanted to bring fire down to heaven. He said, but for the Son of Man has not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And he went to another village. Okay, how many of you know that's what, please hear what I say here. And when I say something like that, it's always because I hear the Lord really stress it to me, get people's attention. The Lord wants us at all times to glorify Him. Somebody say that?
Amen.
At all times. Everything we say and do and move and one of the worst things there is to give somebody a position, a job, that they do not do a good job. I mean, that's horrible. If you give somebody a position and they just
Don't do it.
let anything go, you got yourself a stinking mess. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
When trouble comes or something Satan starts to do and move in your eyes, we got to nip it at the what? Nip it at the bud. Somebody say amen. So if we see a satanic move, not only in others, but we have to recognize it in ourselves. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
So I want to examine myself every day and say, am I getting stronger in God, or am I still the same place I always was? We ought to be going from glory to glory. Somebody say amen. Moving in the Spirit.
Amen.
Right.
If you're not getting stronger, you're not really standing still, because Jesus is always moving forward in His kingdom. You actually are sliding back when you're standing still.
From glory to glory. Okay, let's go into the next part here. Let's turn to Matthew 26:41. When we're talking about the Spirit was willing. Matthew 26, verse 41. Sister Sue, would you read that? Matthew 26, 41. Matthew 26, 41. How many of you really believe the Spirit of God that's inside you is really willing for us to do more and greater things?
Absolutely.
Can everybody say absolutely?
What was that again? I'm trying to hear you.
How many of you believe that the Spirit of God that's in us really wants us to get closer and do more things to glorify God?
Yes, I do.
So the Spirit is willing, which is inside of us. But the flesh is what?
Weak.
Okay. What do we have to do when the flesh is weak? Kill it. Exactly. If the flesh is taking over us, we've got to bring that stinking thing under control. How many of you ever heard me say that different times through the years, I actually took my right hand and gripped my left arm and said, you're going to straighten up whether you want to or not. Do you know the Bible says command yourself?
Did that help you?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does. How many of you ever talk to yourself and say, you need to straighten up? You got a problem, buddy. Sister Gina's laughing.
That's funny,
Come on.
isn't it?
Well, I was laughing too, because years ago they had that Aqua Velva commercial, and the guy would slap himself and say, thanks, I needed that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
We need
I
that,
remember
wake
that
it up
now since she
sometimes.
said it.
Bible talks about different places where we commanded ourselves, communed with ourselves. The Psalms are full of communing with ourselves. My soul, where I die, and so forth. You know, and talk to yourself. I will lift myself up and so forth. So sometimes we just have to say, I'm going to make up my mind. I'm tired of screwing up. You're tired of it. There's things I got to do. What do I got to do? Get closer to God. Well, how do I get closer to God? say that, he'll give us all kinds of. Okay, so where are we at?
41, 42.
26:41. 26:41.
41.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go to verse 40 first. Now this is where Jesus is in the garden. He's crying, and he told the disciples to pray. Stay awake, pray. And he comes back 3 times and finds them shouting and praising God and dancing hallelujah, right? What are they doing? Sleeping, that's what I say. So verse 40, read verse 40, and clean down to 42.
And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What, could ye not watch with me 1 hour?
Oh my, now think of this here. Here's Peter, the one that said, I'll go to the grave for you, and I was in prison, and all this, I give my life. Really bragged just a couple of hours before this. Now Jesus tells them to stay awake and pray. And he comes and he finds them, and there's others sleeping there too, but he zeroes in on Peter. He says to Peter, what, could you not watch, pray, pray with me, how long?
1 hour.
How many of you know that's pretty bad if you can't pray an hour? So we say, man,
Amen.
thank God for the Holy Ghost that can make intercession for us. Someone say amen to that too.
Amen.
Verse 41.
Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Okay, now this is powerful. Watch and pray that you enter not in temptation. Now, please hear this. He's not saying watch and pray that you do not enter into temptation so you won't enter into temptation. He's not saying that. He's not saying pray that, saying, oh Lord, please don't let me enter into temptation. He's not saying that. He's saying you pray so you will not.
You'll be strengthened.
Yes. So you will not be and fall into temptation. Huh.
So are we supposed to pray that we can overcome all temptation?
The Bible says, lead us not into temptation. Lord's
Well,
Prayer.
then how would you pray? How would you?
Well, see, once again, let me go back to that once again. He's not saying pray that you
Yeah,
don't
I know
enter
that.
temptation. He's saying pray that you be so strong that when temptation comes, you won't do it. But the Lord's Prayer, Jesus said, pray after this manner, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, we forgive others. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So we don't want God to ever lead us into temptation. And James says here that he'll not tempt any man. He'll not lead us into temptation. But what happens is, if we do not pray and we're so strong, we go in the flesh and we are tempted. So what happens now with Peter and all the rest of the disciples is, they could not pray even just 1 hour, and you come back 3 times to find them all sleeping. And how many of them forsook him? Didn't Jesus not tell Peter, he said, Peter, even after you bragged and said how much you love me, go to prison, give your life to us, before the cock crows, you'll deny me how many times? If Peter would have prayed, and all the other disciples 1 hour, like Jesus said, they would have entered into temptation.
It would be strong.
They would be strong. So we say amen.
Amen.
It's sad to say that I believe most people that says they're Christians don't hardly ever pray. I believe if you added up the prayers of most so-called Christians, if you get 2 minutes of prayer in a day, you'd be lucky.
Too many people
I
are
believe-
praying for bedtime only.
I believe that the prayer is going to be basically this. Now lay me down to sleep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Most Christians, and we eat at least 6 days a week. It's been, well, we did see somebody talk about a year ago, bow their head and pray. Now, every place we go, everybody says they're Christian, but they don't. Thank God for the food. Something wrong with that picture. But the time's coming when the food is going to become so demonically saturated unto death to kill people, Christians. You see what's going on now? That you better pray. If you drink anything deadly, it shall not hurt you. That includes eating. But if we're strong in God, if we did eat or drink something, it won't hurt us. These signs.
Don't you think God would prompt us?
See what?
Don't you think He would prompt us, though, not to go in that place and eat?
No.
If we were living in them times and we knew that was going on, don't you think if you asked the Lord, Father, show me what place?
Why did God, when I went to a certain country, the other pastor along with me had his 16-year-old son along, and anyways, I was never there at this pastor's place before this so-called jungle. And the Spirit of the Lord prompted me, led me to go to the top of the mountain. And before I went to the top of the mountain, I seen a black man come down the road with a real curly beard, real kinky curly beard, just walking all by himself in his stream. So as I started to go up the road, up this mountain, who do I meet? That black guy with that real curly beard. Would he talk to me? He wouldn't talk to me, he just walked by. Was it an angel or what? No, here's a sign that I was supposed to do what God was having to do. He wanted me to go to the top of the mountain. When I got to the top of the mountain, I seen a strange looking tree. And it had green fruit on it, like this big, something like, looked something like, oh, they're expensive. Anyways, it's a fruit. Dark green fruit.
Avocado or guava?
Something like that. And the Lord told me, eat. So I went over to this tree, and I got in this lava stone, we were talking about lava mine, and I got these lava stones, and I started, and finally got the one knocked off. When I knocked it off, it was as hard as this glass. So I picked up lava stone, and I'm beating, cutting this thing, you know, and trying to get this thing open. Got my pocket knife out, was cutting it. And inside of it was like white cotton, but it was hard. But inside of the white cotton was 3 seeds, big long seeds, like big, probably this big, but they remind you of lima beans. The Lord told me, eat. So I reached down and got some of this cotton stuff, you know, and put it in my mouth, and as soon as it touched my lips, it was like fire, but yet it was like a persimmon. It just took my mouth like a horrible tasting stuff. Horrible. I got you now. The Lord said, eat. And Todd, the pastor boy, was standing right there watching me. And he seemed to make all these faces. And I ate almost all of it until there wasn't just a little piece in there. And I said to Todd, his name was Todd, I said, Todd, why don't you eat the rest of this? He said, I'm not eating the way you're making it. I don't want no parts of it. And I went to throw it away, and the Lord spoke to me and said, don't waste food. So I put this piece in my mouth. And let me tell you, it was horrible. And so we come down off the mountain. And this taste is still in my mouth. We get down to the pastor of the church, he had like a shack type house. And he had a big old basin. Did you ever see those like these galvanized basins, these old time basins? And he had that thing